everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jo here. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do 3 a week, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, and then I also do Poundland hauls as well, as it's my favourite shop and it's where I get most of my crafting supplies from, as well as the charity shops. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will reply, and if you've not subscribed and you want to see more from me, then it'd be wonderful if you joined our family and friends. If you're returning, as always, my friends, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. It means the world to me. I tell you every single time I upload a video because it's true, and it really does. So yeah, we'll get into today's video. So I wanted to make a fabric heart. I had some old cushions that I picked up from the charity shop that I paid 50p for, and I wanted to do something with them, and I came up with the idea of doing this heart. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm taking 2 pieces of A4 white card, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of sellotape in the center of them. This is so I can fold it in half and cut out my heart shape that I want to use as a template to draw on the cushion. So I'm just going to place that on the card, fold it in half, and then with the side facing one side, I'm going to start to cut the heart shape. So I'm just going to cut this to the size that I want it. I want it to be quite large, so I'm going to try and make it as large as I possibly can on the card. And then once I've cut it to the shape that I want, I'm going to open it up, just check that it's right, and then this is going to be my template. So now I'm going to draw 2 hearts out on some cushions that I've got. I'm going to just use a pen to trace around them and cut them with a pair of scissors. And now I've got my 2 hearts. I'm just going to pop one to one side, and I'm going to start to work on the front. So I'm using some rope. I picked this up from a shop. I paid £1.99 for quite a lot of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put hearts around the outside. So I'm just going to roughly use the rope to measure where I want it to be. I'm going to leave about 1.5 centimeters around the edges, because this is where we're going to be sticking the other heart to. And once I've got it to the size I want, I'm just going to cut that. And then I'm going to wrap this in some blue wool or teal wool. I'm just going to stick the wool to the end of the rope. And then once the rope and the wool are stuck together, I'm just going to wrap the rope with the wool, making sure that it's nice and tight and there's no gaps. And I'm going to continue to do this all the way down the length of the rope till I get to the end, and then I'll glue the wool in place and then just snip off the excess. So now that I've got my first piece of rope covered, I'm going to actually make our template a little bit smaller. So using the template that we started off with, I'm just going to use a ruler, and I'm going to mark around the whole edge of the heart about 1.5 centimeters in. I'm just going to measure from the edge 1.5 centimeters, mark it, and I'm just going to continue to do this, leaving a couple of inches in between each dot. And this is just so we can cut the heart to the size that I want. So I've gone all the way around the heart, leaving a few dots, and this is what I'm going to use as a guide to cut. So now I'm just going to cut that bit off. I'm going to go all the way around the heart. So now the heart is the size that I want. I'm just going to fold it in half, and I can trim off any of the excess just to make sure that it's symmetrical on each side. And now I can use this as a template. So now that I've got 1.5 cm edge all the way around the heart, I'm just going to place this on and draw around the heart with a pen. And now I'm going to use this as a guide to glue my rope. So I'm just going to start at the top in the center, and I'm going to use hot glue to glue it in place. And I'm just going to work my way around, making sure that I cover the pen that we've just drew onto the fabric. And I'm just going to continue to do that until I've gone all the way around the outline, like so. So now that I've got my first part of the heart in place, I'm going to use some pearl garland. This is from Poundland. You can no longer get it, but I know you can get it off Wish, and it's a couple of pounds. But I'm going to do a line of the pearl garland, and then I'm going to measure another heart in the rope and cover it again in the blue wool like I did the first heart. And then I'm going to glue that in place as well. So now that the outside of the heart is done, I'm going to start to do some swirls on one side. So I'm just going to take a piece of rope, I'm going to wrap it around how I want it to be. And I'm just going to do it a couple of times on each side. And then I'm going to cut that to the length that I want. And I did measure it, it was about 18 inches, but they didn't need to be that long. I only used probably around about 14 inches, but I just cut them to size later on when I needed them. But I'm going to measure exactly the same length. I'm going to do 6 lengths and I'm going to wrap them in wool, and I'll be back. So now I've got my 6 lengths that I'm ready to use to decorate the heart. I'm just going to glue the end together like so to start off my swirl pattern. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, pick where I want to start, and then I'm going to work my way around. Like so. So it'll look like this. I'm going to glue all that in. And once it's glued down, we can get on to the next one. So my first one is glued in place, and what I'm going to do to finish it off, I'm using some of the pearl braids. These are from Poundland. I think you get eight in a pack, and I'm just going to use 2 of them. I've taken the metal strips off the back, and I'm just going to pop one in the center of each of the swirls. And now I'm going to do another couple of swirls and add the pearls. So I'm not going to add any more. I'm happy with the amount that's on it. And now we're going to glue the other heart to the front. So I'm going to use the blue heart as a reference. I'm going to stick the glue just underneath the blue heart. And then I'm going to stick our other heart to the top of that. And I'm going to continue to work my way around until I get near the center, leaving a gap so we can turn it the right way around. So now that it's glued nearly all the way around, I'm just going to turn it the right way. So I'm just going to push the outside out and the inside in. like so. And then I'm just going to glue the fabric a little bit more, so I've still got enough space to be able to put the stuffing in. And I'm just using some stuffing from an old pillow. So I'm just going to pop this inside. You can add as much or as little as you want. And now that I'm happy with how it's filled, I'm now going to sew the top bit together. I'm just going to use some cotton and a needle. And I'm just going to sew the hole shut. And now I'm going to continue to finish decorating it. So I'm going to use a little bit of greenery in the center. This is just some fake foliage that I've got, and I'm just going to glue a couple of bits to each side. So I've got my 2 bits of greenery, and now I'm going to add a blue flower on each side. And before I glue that down in place where I want it to be, I'm just going to add a little bit more greenery underneath. And then I'm just going to add 2 more bits of greenery in the center so that they hang down. And then I'm going to pop a white rose in the center to finish it off. So now that the flowers are done, I'm just going to take a bit of the spare rope that we had. I'm just going to fold it into like so and glue it. And then I'm going to glue that to the center at the back. And then to finish off, I'm going to use some more of the rope that I've got left, and I'm just going to glue 3 pieces on the side that we left plain, and I'm just going to have them so that they curve slightly. And here it is finished. So I'm going to hang it up on the wall so you can have a look what it looks like, and I'll do that now. And here it is. I'm really happy with the colours. I love the fabric colour against the blue that we've used in the wool, and I love the pearl garland around the edge, and the flowers just finish it off. I didn't want to decorate it too much. I just wanted to leave it quite simple, but I hope it's giving you some ideas of what you could do. I will see you on Wednesday for my next craft video. It's going to be an upcycle from a charity shop find, so take care. See you then.